Nothing I've ever seen before.
Can I pick it up?
Absolutely. It's about all I know.
This is awesome.
That's a good sign, right?
Holy.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. Well, this is a one-of-a-kind piece.
If this were from the 15th century, it would be worth in excess of $5,000.
So how old do you think it is?
I don't believe it's from the 15th century.
No.
Chaos hits immediately when Rick stares down a literal one-person submarine like it's a normal Tuesday. The seller drops 25 grand like pocket change, and Rick's face screams, "Sir, we live in a desert."
And I got to admit, this is the first time anyone's brought a submarine to my shop. Where in the world did you get this?
I got it from somebody that told me to take it off their yard. They didn't want it.
Turns out the guy got this thing for free because someone wanted it off their lawn, which breaks Rick's brain instantly. The sub looks rusted, incomplete, and abandoned by the ocean gods, but Rick's already mentally flipping it.
They're used by the Navy for patrolling shallow waters. But this thing looks like it was designed for civilian use. Yeah, that doesn't look very comfortable.
The seller sticks to $25,000, and Rick fires back like he's offended on Nevada's behalf. After some lightning-fast haggling, Rick lands it at $3,000 and grins like he just committed a financial crime.
This is my problem. I have no idea what it would cost to fix this thing up. You know, I would offer you a few $1,000s, and I don't think you're gonna take that.
Then the old man finds out, and the room temperature drops 10 degrees. "We don't buy boats," he growls. Rick calmly corrects him, and Corey immediately declares it the dumbest purchase of the day.
Hey, what? Ricky!
Yeah?
Come here.
What?
You bought a submarine?
Yeah.
You know it costs like $10,000 an hour just to test to see if one of those things work?
It doesn't work.
Before the sub-drama fully detonates, a Revolutionary War officer's commission enters the shop. Corey squints at the handwriting like it's cursed, while Rick nerds out over colonial penmanship.
So where'd you get this?
I bought it at an auction.
How'd you pay for it?
$10.
Okay.
Makes sense they did it in December because everybody kind of took a break during the winter back then.
Expert Dana Lynette shows up and casually drops a historical curveball by naming the signer as the first president, Brief Panic, of New Hampshire. Rick loses it laughing because state president is not what anyone expected.
Well, this is actually a commission for a militia company of the state of New Hampshire. The writing has not faded.
The document lands at a $1,000 value, negotiations stay calm, and $350 seals the deal. The old man praises Corey once, just once, then reminds him the submarine still exists.
It's a state constitution of New Hampshire which came into being in 1776.
First president in the United States. Not of, in.
Next up is a Model T parade car powered by what sounds like lawn equipment, and somehow it actually works. Rick lowballs, the seller gets sentimental, and the deal dies quietly.
So tell me what you know about
It
it.
was bought from Sears out of the catalog by my parents.
This front end is incredible on this thing. I mean, it's a real Model T front end.
Yeah.
Comic relief arrives in the form of a historic spittoon packed with a century of bad decisions. Rick explains why these went extinct, offers $50, and nobody wants to touch it longer than necessary.
Yeah, this was for inside hotel lobbies, train stations, stores. They're a really common fixture around the United States back in the day. By the 1920s, they realized these were really spreading disease.
Then R2-D2 rolls in as a Pepsi promo cooler, and the old man instantly softens. He overbids out of pure love, still gets rejected, and blames the Force for failing him.
How'd you acquire this, sir?
A buddy of mine worked for a convenience store when they were doing the 20th anniversary of the Star Wars trilogy, and he knew I was a big fan, so he just gave it to me.
Reality hits when a submarine expert circles Rick's pride and joy like a disappointed parent. It's a Sea Urchin II from the 90s, built for filmmakers, and Rick owns the sequel nobody asked for.
Interesting, the history of one-man submarines. The first one used in battle was used by the American colonies against the British.
Restoration costs hit 6 figures, and the old man immediately votes for scrapping it. Rick insists it's still sellable. Corey suggests Aquaman, and the tension could crack steel.
Very fast, and its hydrodynamics allow it to be efficient underwater. But the problem with this design is that it's really difficult to stay with your head lifted and operate for any extended period of time. It's very uncomfortable.
The expert finally throws Rick a lifeline, parts and hull value at 10 grand. Rick celebrates like he won, while the old man calls it dumb luck.
It's got to be worth something. Is it worth anything?
The value of the sub as it sits is $10,000.
Rick demands an apology for being right, and the old man absolutely refuses. Corey jokes hell will freeze first. Rick smiles anyway, and the submarine somehow survives the episode.
You got the biggest head west of the Mississippi, son.
I love it when this happened. I paid $3K for this thing. It's not a disaster, it's a home run.
Rick and the old man kick things off sparring over silver screen tough guys, with Rick crowning Steve McQueen king of cool and the old man backing John Wayne like it's a patriotic duty. Corey stirs the pot, jokes fly, and the vibe feels playful, like the calm before the shop gets hit with pure chaos.
Probably the best man actor there was Humphrey Bogart.
Bogart was pretty good.
John Wayne was good. They were the tough guys.
Of course, there's Steve McQueen.
The mood flips instantly when a seller drops an 1870s Colt .45 on the counter and casually claims it ended Jesse James. Rick goes stone-faced as the man ties the gun to Wild West shows and slaps a $40,000 price on what might be the most loaded story ever told in the shop.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I got something for you.
What do you got?
This is going to be something cool. It's a Colt 45 from the 1800s. This gun is the gun that killed Jesse James.
Rick studies the revolver like it owes him money, pointing out red flags in the finish, markings, and overall look. The seller leans hard on family lore and history, but Rick's skepticism grows by the second. This tale is starting to feel more Hollywood than history.
This is cool. Where did you get it?
So this gun, my dad bought from Andy Palmer, famous gun collector, who got this from Dr. Cornelius, who had a Wild West medicine show.
More photos, more articles, more confidence, but Rick isn't buying what the paperwork is selling. The old man sneaks in a brutal one-liner. Rick politely bows out, and the seller exits, clearly disappointed that legends don't always cash in.
There's 2 or 3 guns that have been claimed in history to have been the gun. Bob Ford, who did the shooting, says that he shot him with a Colt 45.
A phone call changes everything when Rick hears the words, "Steve McQueen's car," and basically teleports out of the shop. The old man roasts him mid-exit while Corey watches, already knowing this is about to get expensive.
This guy has the car that Steve McQueen drove in his last movie, Hunter. You ever see the movie?
No.
Rick meets the mint green 1951 Chevy and instantly looks smitten, like he's staring at automotive royalty. The seller backs it up with estate docs, names $40,000, and Rick touches the car with the kind of reverence usually reserved for museum artifacts.
1951 Chevy convertible that Steve McQueen drove in the movie The Hunter.
That is sweet. And where did you get it?
It came from his estate. You can hear him grinding the gears and you can hear it running in the movie.
Okay.
Danny, the Count, rolls in to crush dreams or confirm them, giving the car a full once-over and a road test. He pegs the value just under the ask, but admits the McQueen connection could push it higher. Rick's already emotionally invested.
What you looking at, Danny?
Just seeing, how much of it looks original. It's been a while since it's been restored, but you can tell that whoever did it did a nice job with it, man.
Negotiations drag, numbers bounce, and tension builds until Rick caves at $37,000. Corey later calls it what it is, a very expensive crush, while Rick insists he bought a legend, not a midlife crisis.
Any collector would love to have a 51 Chevy convertible, and then what's it worth because it was Steve McQueen's? Kind of take it from there.
Back at the shop, Chumlee gets left unsupervised just long enough to fall in love with an Atari Centipede cocktail cabinet. He plays instead of negotiating, lowballs the seller, and shrugs when the deal dies. Arcade pride intact.
Corey texted me about someone wanting to sell their Atari Centipede table game. I know video games, so I should be able to handle this one on my own. Oh, check this out. Pretty dope.
Chumlee's latest loss and delivers a rare moment of approval. Chumlee beams like he just unlocked a new achievement.
Video games, obviously the Atari was out, but when I was a kid, arcades had already evolved so much that we didn't get a chance to appreciate games like this.
Nostalgia hits hard when a seller brings in Chewbops, and Rick instantly time travels back to childhood. Corey doesn't get it, Rick doesn't care, and suddenly grown men are negotiating over gum records.
What's up, buddy? I got a collection of Chewbop albums here, looking to get rid of.
Is that like the little album covers that had gum in them?
Absolutely, yeah.
And you actually thought these would be worth money?
Rick explains the appeal, lowballs hard, and the seller gives in with a joke about selling his childhood for spare change. Rick laughs, because adulthood is mostly that exact transaction.
80s, they would just put bubble gum in anything, or is that pretty much the idea?
It was a company who just came up with a little idea. This was marketed towards like teenagers. I think they sold them at like record shops, stuff like that. It was different.
The old man storms in demanding the damage on the McQueen car, and Rick sheepishly admits the number. Corey piles on with nicknames while the old man calls nonsense on Rick's investment logic.
I'll give you $50. I won't go a penny more. If that helps you out, it helps you out. If not, it's not.
I guess I'll take it.
All right, go write them up, son.
Come with me, man.
Classic Harrison banter takes over as Rick talks resale plans, and the old man smirks like he's heard this song before. The insults fly, egos flare, and nobody actually wins, except the audience.
A bunch of Steve McQueen stuff before. They're gonna really publicize the car, and I think it's the best one to put the car in.
The episode ends with Rick behind the wheel of the McQueen Chevy, grinning like a teenager with a brand new license. Corey and the old man predict disaster as the engine growls, and honestly, you can feel it coming.
Please don't wreck it.
No way, I'm not gonna wreck it.
Rick, next thing you're gonna be wearing a turtleneck and a blazer to work.
Turtlenecks just aren't me. You see this neck?
A customer strolls in with a business card tied to John Wesley Hardin, an infamous gunslinger turned attorney who reportedly left over 40 bodies behind him. Rick and Corey squint at how pristine it looks, with Rick joking that it feels fresh enough to print at a copy shop, instantly setting off alarm bells.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you guys doing? Here to sell my John Hardin business card. Killed over 40 people in the late 1800s. After he was released from prison, he became a lawyer.
John Wesley Hardin was one of the most notorious outlaws of the Old West.
The expert is called in, but there's a catch. The card is sealed inside glass, meaning authentication requires cracking it open. Rick offers $350 up front even if things go sideways, and suddenly everyone's holding their breath as history literally hangs by a shard of glass.
I brought in a business card from the infamous Old West outlaw, John Wesley Hardin. If it's real, I'm definitely interested. So I invited my buddy Mark down to see what he can tell me about it.
My man, Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. The guys often call me down when they have an interesting historical artifact that they're just not quite sure about.
Elsewhere, Rick and the old man are face to face with a massive 1950s shopsmith, a Frankenstein machine that tries to be every tool at once. Grandpa's sentimental, and Rick looks like he's standing next to a mechanical crime scene.
How's it going?
Good. So what we got is a shopsmith, 5 machines in one.
Shopsmith came out in the late 40s. It's a saw, a drill, a lathe, and a sander. My dad believes this kind of stuff is still state of the art. That's why I brought him along.
It is.
Ignoring Rick's objections, the old man throws out a $50 offer just to irritate his son. The seller happily accepts, thrilled to dump the oversized hunk of metal while Rick's silent frustration could power the machine itself.
Bearings are going out of it. This has seen its day.
It's old, Rick, but it's all cast metal. It's not the plastic they make them out of now.
Stuff like this is the kind of thing my dad's always a sucker for. As cool as it is, it needs new bearings, God knows what else. And at the end of the day, it's pretty dated.
A new seller enters with a Gibson mandolin, hoping to fund a family trip to Ireland. Chumlee locks in on the instrument like it's destiny calling, and suddenly, he's the one running the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how you doing today? I have a Gibson mandolin.
Mind if I play a couple tones?
Sure.
Thank you. All right, well, let me call my boss over here. Hey, Rick! Corey! Rick! I guess no one's here.
Chumlee somehow negotiates the price down to $1,500, a number that feels impressive until you remember he absolutely does not have that authority. He's glowing with pride, fully convinced he just secured Employee of the Month status.
It's in great condition.
You can see the craftsmanship on it is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the one thing about these Gibsons, you know? They only use the best parts.
Right.
I see the sticker in there. Tells me that this is authentic.
Great.
Maybe we can make a deal. Rick doesn't like when I make big buys when he's not around, but he also doesn't like losing out on easy money.
Reality arrives wearing a lab coat as the expert dismantles the mandolin's credibility piece by piece. Fake label, cheap materials, plastic finish. By the end, it's worth maybe $100, and Chumlee's soul visibly leaves his body.
Hey, check out what I brought down today.
A mandolin, huh?
I thought I'd get it all checked out by you.
Gibsons are one of the premier builders of any kind of stringed instrument. The vintage ones are some of the most high-priced collectible guitars there are. All right, man. It says the Gibson on it.
Rick finally hears what happened and calmly asks the most terrifying question imaginable. You paid how much? His quiet disappointment hits harder than yelling ever could, and Chumlee knows there's no escape plan this time.
Hey guys.
How'd it go, Chumlee?
Oh, not so good.
What's not so good?
I bought a Gibson mandolin, but it turned out not to be real.
How much did you pay for it?
$1,500.
You paid $1,500 for this?
It's not real.
Back to the Hardin card. Corey carefully opens the frame without a single crack. The expert gives it an 80% authenticity rating. Rick sticks to his $350 offer, and for once, the gamble actually pays off.
Earlier, a guy brought in a John Hardin business card in a sealed glass frame. We need to get it out of the frame to authenticate it, so my dad made a deal. If the card is real, he'll give him $350 for it, even if we destroy it. It's basically, if we break it, we own it.
Yeah.
Another seller arrives with Clint Walker's movie jacket, complete with signed photos and paperwork. Rick appreciates it, but doesn't see gold, immediately shutting down the $1,800 asking price.
Hey, it's you again. What do you got here?
Clint Walker's jacket that he wore in a movie, Send Me No Flowers, with Doris Day and Rock Hudson.
This guy who played in Cheyenne, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was one of the classic 1950s Western shows. It says chest 45, sleeve 19 and a half.
After some back and forth, Rick lands at $750, and the seller reluctantly takes it despite clearly hating the number. It's a reminder that nostalgia doesn't always translate to profit, even when Hollywood's involved.
You know, Flowers with Rock Hudson and Doris Day was a bit different. That being said, he did play a big tough guy in the movie. It's in relatively good shape.
And also, here's a letter from him stating where he wore it.
It was worn in Send Me No Flowers with Doris Day and Rock Hudson.
A guy strolls in holding two battered German helmets, one leather, one felt, and Rick instantly flips into history professor mode. Turns out WWI Germany was so desperate they swapped leather for felt, which tells you everything you need to know about how ugly things were getting.
What do we have here?
I have no idea.
Okay, these are German helmets.
What are the spikes for?
Or they put the helmets on their head, they'd bend over and run into people. That's how they fought wars. Fake.
Sounds pretty efficient.
Military expert Paul arrives and starts casually flexing his German vocabulary like it's trivia night, casually dropping Pickelhaube without blinking. One helmet belonged to an officer, the other to enlisted troops, and both check out legit, valued together around $2,200.
What you have here is an enlisted ersatz helmet. Ersatz. When they ran out of leather, they would make them out of felt, cardboard. You can see how they put a felt stiffener in the back. Usually this is metal. So these things started falling out of favor because they were getting a lot of head casualties, due to artillery airbursts.
The seller shoots for $2,000. Rick counters with a laughably low $800, and suddenly the room feels 10 degrees hotter. After some back and forth, they land at $1,050, and the seller looks ready to sprint toward the nearest blackjack table.
What would you like to do with these? Pawn them? Sell them?
I like to sell them.
Okay, and how much you want for them?
He's saying 800. I think 2,000 would be a good place to start.
Wouldn't be lucky to get that. We're talking 850, maybe 1,000. Someone come in here, they're going to try and get a deal on the pair.
Well, no offense, but really, that's not my problem.
Next up is a WWII blood chit, a silk survival note meant to bribe civilians into helping downed American pilots. It's authentic and multilingual, but Rick points out they were mass-produced, which immediately drains the excitement.
Hey, how you doing? Just thought you might want to take a look at this. They belonged to my father. He was in World War II. They issued it to the air crews in case they had to ditch in enemy territory.
Yeah, blood chit.
Did you say bull?
No, blood Chit, C-H-I-T.
Oh, okay.
The seller asks for a couple hundred, Rick fires back with $40, and the emotional whiplash is real. Eventually, they settle at $75, which feels fair for a framed piece of wartime desperation that's already display-ready.
Anyone shot down in enemy territory is in a tough spot. So the military came up with these contracts that offered a reward for anyone who helped them out. There's documented cases where these things helped save American lives.
Then the nostalgia floodgates open when a collector wheels in nearly 1,000 Matchbox cars, most still sealed like time capsules. Rick's jaw hits the floor as the owner asks for a $20,000 pawn loan, not a sale, which instantly raises the stakes.
All right, what do we got here?
I've got almost every single car that Matchbox put out between 1953 and 1969.
Didn't rob a toy store, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I'm in need of temporary cash flow. I am looking for $20,000.
Toy expert Johnny confirms this isn't just a collection. It's a museum on wheels, with rare pieces worth over $1,500 each. He pegs the total value around $25,000 to $28,000, while the owner confidently insists it's closer to $75,000.
What's going on?
This guy wants to pawn all of his Matchbox stuff. He's got like thousands of cars and pieces here, so I was hoping you could maybe go through it for me.
Yeah, no problem, man. The Matchbox came out in the late 40s, and they were really popular because they had a lot of detail, a lot of moving parts, opening doors. There was virtually no competition.
Shockingly, Rick agrees to the full $20,000 loan, but delivers a warning that sounds like a dad giving a graduation speech. Miss a payment, and those tiny cars become Rick's forever.
So, what are your questions about this collection?
What's it all worth?
Everything's pretty mint. It's a pretty complete collection. I would put a price in the collection at 25 to 28 grand on the whole collection.
I'd have to disagree with that.
All right, what do you think it's worth?
I put it at 5 myself.
Okay, I mean, that's like top-end retail.
Just when things calm down, 3 vintage Japanese arcade cabinets roll in, and Chumlee immediately lights up like it's Christmas morning. Dig Dug, Super Dodgeball, Yi Are Kung Fu, pure button-mashing glory with a $1,500 per machine price tag.
What can you tell me about these?
This one is Dig Dug, made by Atari in 1982. This one's Yi Are Kung Fu, made in 1985, which started the legacy of Street Fighter and so on. This one, Super Dodgeball, is from Technos.
I mean, these things were great, man. Back in the day, I mean, they would put these almost anywhere. Pizza parlors, bars.
Chumlee opens negotiations by offering $400 for all 3, and the seller looks personally offended. Numbers bounce everywhere until they finally agree on $600 total, proving arcade cabinets should never replace cash payments.
I know they're worth more than 5. I know you guys can sell each one individually for more than that.
$600 for the 3 is the best I'm gonna do, man. It really is. I honestly think I might be able to get 500 a piece for, and it's gonna take me a year to do it.
Sure, let's do 1,000.
Can't do it.
All 3 1,000.
Can't do it.
Then comes the emotional curveball. A woman claims she owns a gold necklace personally placed on her by Elvis Presley himself. Rick's skepticism fades fast when photos, letters, and paperwork hit the counter. Plus, it's over a pound of solid 14-karat gold.
Well, I kind of have a unique item, a necklace that was given to me by Elvis when I was a teenager.
Seriously? Wow, that's amazing.
Sure it wasn't Mr. T's?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
She asks for $250,000, Rick nearly chokes, and quickly brings it back to reality by pointing out the gold alone is worth about $13,000. He offers $20,000, and her stunned silence says everything.
All right, so how did you get this?
He invited me to Memphis, and I spent years there at Graceland. Well, one time, Elvis called me into his bedroom, slipped it over my head, and he says, "Baby, it's for a rainy day."
She insists she once turned down $400,000, but Rick explains that ultra-niche memorabilia doesn't come with guaranteed buyers. Neither budges, and the deal collapses under the weight of unmet expectations.
A number that makes me feel safe is 20 grand.
God, I didn't even expect that.
I just sold 4 Andy Warhols.
Yeah?
Okay, and I thought I was gonna get 125,000.
A guy drags in a turn-of-the-century cigar store donkey that's basically a Victorian-era prank machine. Chumlee's firing off jokes, the seller claps back, and Rick explains it's a novelty coin-op with a built-in cigar cutter, then drops the bomb that these things are faked constantly, right as the tail starts wagging and the seller asks a jaw-dropping $4,000.
What do we have here? We have a turn-of-the-century tobacco cigar store trade stimulator.
It's a donkey, Rick.
I know that, a donkey. Okay, and I've actually seen these things before.
Every time you look in the mirror.
Rick calls in Rick Dale, and the vibe shifts instantly. Dale clocks the casting as way too clean for something from 1900, labels it a modern reproduction, and the seller's smile evaporates on the spot. Chum's awkward handshake joke can't save this one.
Okay, so you've seen these before, right?
Yeah, trade stimulators, pretty popular. I mean, they made so many different ones. I mean, they made little slot machine. They were all around cigarettes, cigars, and all that stuff. It was just to stimulate the product that they were selling. So this was cigars.
Rick explains why originals usually corrode fast, making this pristine piece a dead giveaway. The seller takes it well but walks empty-handed, proving even cute antiques can deliver brutal plot twists.
Got a divider where he says, come up to the head or go to the tail. And when a ball goes through there, it hits something that just moves. It's just a bar.
Is it real? Is it a recast? Because I know every one of these are copied nowadays.
Yeah.
They've been copied for decades.
Next up is a Manhattan Project Appreciation Certificate tied to scientist Carol L. Oopsie, and Rick immediately goes full history nerd. That excitement dies fast when the seller wants $1,100, and Rick counters with $100. Cool artifact, impossible price gap.
I have a historical document of a gentleman that helped develop the atomic bomb.
Okay. The certificate is awarded in appreciation in his work essential to the production of the atomic bomb. And it's Carol Loopsy. He sort of semi-famous scientist. If you're a nerd, you know about him.
3 miniature instruments hit the counter: a violin, cello, and guitar that look like they belong to a mouse orchestra. Chumlee loses it over the tiny details as the seller explains these were 1950s Salesman samples, complete with velvet cases and microscopic knobs.
What do you have here?
I have 3 string instruments, miniatures, violin, a cello, and a guitar.
Do they actually work?
They have bows with strings, but I haven't played them.
The seller wants $300. Chum fires back with $200, and they dance around until landing at $250. Chum's victory grin says everything. This is a small deal with massive bragging rights.
I have an antique store about 18 years ago. A customer sold them to me.
Wow, 18 years. 50s and 60s is the golden era for salesman samples and for traveling salesmen. With the internet now, there's not too much door-to-door sales going on.
Corey steps in with a bizarre Ezekiel Baker rifle featuring an unfamiliar lever system. He pulls in Alex, and suddenly the shop realizes this might be a prototype or one-of-a-kind build. Rare doesn't even begin to cover it.
What do we got here?
It's a Baker rifle. It's a hand-me-down from my grandpa.
You mind if I take a look at it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Ezekiel Baker, London. Gun maker to His Majesty. Wow. And it's breech loading.
Alex breaks down the faster loading process and explains why it could outperform standard flintlocks. The catch is a loose lever, meaning it's worth $25,000 if it fires and closer to $15,000 if it doesn't. No pressure or anything.
Can I pick it up?
Absolutely.
And that's about all I know.
This is awesome. That's a good sign, right?
I hope so.
Oh yeah, this is crazy. Well, this is a one-of-a-kind piece.
At the range, everyone's holding their breath as Corey pulls the trigger. It fires clean, the lever behaves, and Alex confirms full value. Instant relief, instant payday energy.
This is one of England's finest gun makers from the 19th century. This is a prototype, or it was custom made for a specific customer at the time.
Back inside, the seller floats $15,000. Corey counters up to $18,000, and they shake on it. Everyone's happy, except Rick, who's about to hear about it later.
Would you do 15?
I know you gotta make some money. How about 22?
How about 18? It's gonna be the most I can do.
All right, I can do 18.
All right, cool.
A seller rolls in wearing confidence and carrying Marlon Brando's personal 1950s biker jacket. It's not screen used, but it's authentic, and the $15,000 ask sparks immediate tension when Rick opens at $8,000.
What do we got here?
Well, my wife told me to come down and make you an offer you couldn't refuse. This is Marlon Brando's personally owned 1950s biker leather coat.
This was not a movie-worn jacket.
No, it's a personally owned.
They land at $8,500, and the seller's thrilled knowing it helps with his daughter's future. Rick seals it with a crash course on biker jackets and Hollywood cool, because history always sweetens the deal.
How much are you looking to get out of this?
I'm looking to get $15,000 for it.
Okay, 15 grand. I'll give you 8 grand.
I know you need to make money yourself. I get that. 10 grand? That's knocking down 5,000 from my asking.
I'll give you 8 grand.
A Picasso Madura ceramic plate with a bull design comes next, priced at $5,000. Rick spots what looks like damage and brings in Chad, who confirms it's an authentic firing flaw, not a chip.
What do we have here? Did your kid make this in school or something?
No. We have a Picasso Madura ceramic from 1952. Titled Toros.
Chad values it around $4,500. Rick tops out at $2,500, and the seller refuses to budge. He walks away calling it a bunch of bull, which is objectively perfect given the artwork.
And all of the painting
It's got, see, like that's a firing. That's from the firing. That's not from a striking chip.
Okay, but on the front of it, it looks like there's a chip.
A battered 1976 Honda Kick-and-Go 2-scooter slides in, infamous for being recalled after serious accidents. The pump's busted, the seller wants $50, and Chum scoops it for $35. Low risk, weird history, easy win.
These are really cool. Honda came around in 1947. He had went into a warehouse and saw a bunch of extra little motors laying around, and he just said, you know what, why don't I put this on a scooter? Turns out it was a great idea. Later, Honda became like the biggest motorcycle company in the world.
A 1956 Pez Space Ray Gun shows up complete with paperwork, and expert Steve confirms it's legit and pulled for choking hazards. Corey and the seller clash until settling at $300, locking in a retro candy weapon.
Called before? I'm trying to put this thing in the candy shop.
That's a really cool piece for you to put in the candy shop, although I don't know if you can actually legally sell it or not.
No, I want to display it. Why couldn't I legally sell it?
You could.
Why couldn't I legally sell it?
Because it was actually taken off the market because kids had a choking hazard with it.
Then chaos. The Pez gun vanishes, and Corey immediately suspects the human candy magnet across the lot. Chumlee. Rick storms the candy shop, finds it on display, fines Chum $400, and Chum has the nerve to ask if he can buy it for $300.
I'm just saying, if there's a Pez dispenser missing in the store, I would start with the guy who owns the candy store across the parking lot, Chum.
Which is Chum, yeah.
I mean, he was really into it.
I guess I'm going to a candy store.
There you go. Have fun.